Welcome in to Sport Talk with Dwat. I'm your host, Dwat, and on this show, I've got my good buddy Casper. He's back. What's going on, Casper?
Oh, just out here living the dream in this lack of snow area up here in East Tennessee, where I'm at, Knoxville. We got nothing but rain, rain, rain. Go away, come again another day, but it's about to get cold.
Yeah, we got some snow on Saturday morning, and it turned into a little bit of mist or rain, and then it all cleared out, and then it rained mostly all today. It got a lot of rain here in Chattanooga, but this weekend I just watched a little bit of basketball and some racing there in the evening hours, and just kind of hung around the house, didn't do a lot with the weather outside, and today it rained all day. So just took it easy watching the playoff games this afternoon. So that one game with the Broncos was a cold, snowy day over there in Denver. So that was pretty unique.
Yeah, the whole snowy football game thing. All these places are building domes now, and it makes me sad. Like the more I think about Buffalo building a dome and all that, like football in November through January is supposed to be cold. Like these playoff games are supposed to be cold and snowy and all that. And I really enjoyed watching it. Even my wife was like, "Man, this is just crazy to watch." From halftime to the end of that first game, man, it went from green grass to white. So always a good time to watch that. But definitely enjoyed it. Good game.
Yeah. So that was that, and we will move on into news of the week. The Ravens have hired Jesse Minter as the head coach. So that could be a good hire there. We'll kind of see how that one goes. The Dolphins hired Jeff Hafley. So we'll see how that one goes. Some of these names I'm not sure about, honestly. I just saw the news and I just want to pass it along. Now, this one I have heard of. Steelers hired Mike McCarthy. That's the head coach. Now, he was at the Cowboys, was at the Packers. Now he's at the Steelers. So, Casper, on this one, that one could be a pretty good hire.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't love it. Like what we went from Tomlin to McCarthy. Like what? I just why are we going for old guys? I would like to see the Steelers personally like to see them take a route of somebody younger, up and comer, and see what we can do. I mean, McCarthy would be okay, but I honestly, it's all gonna depend on what they put into the team, right? Like what they put in the franchise. It's not just about the coaching. He'll be an okay coach, but um, they're gonna have to do something about players. They got a lot of rebuilding to do there, in my opinion. I know Rodgers is still out here floating around, maybe playing, maybe not playing, doing typical Aaron Rodgers things, just steal the attention on that for probably the next 6 months. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully it works out for them. I'd like to see the Steelers do well, but I'd like to see them move to a different game plan. It was a little bit of a surprise for me. What about? I mean, did that one surprise you a little bit? Like I don't know. I felt like it was a little underwhelming of a hire personally.
Yeah, I was surprised because they hire guys that are younger usually and they coach there for 20 plus years or so. So I
Hmm.
was a little bit surprised, which that's kind of what I was hearing as well, was a little bit surprised and like he's not going to be there for the next 20 years. So they may get 5 years out of him, 5 or 10. So I was a little bit surprised, but I guess they were going after like a veteran maybe that they wanted a bigger name and someone that's maybe proven that he can be a head coach. He just maybe just didn't get it done in with the Packers and then with the Cowboys. Maybe it just didn't kind of go his way. So just on that, we'll just have to see. I like how that they got a veteran, so I feel like that was
Yeah.
smart. But
I mean,
other than that, we'll just have to see.
I guess the kicker here is I just kind of mentioned the Aaron Rodgers news. Obviously, he won his Super Bowl with the Packers. They were around together too. So curious to see what happens. I guess. I get that was when Rodgers. I'm trying to think if that was Rodgers. That's getting old back like when we were in high school was when McCarthy was with the Packers, but I'm pretty sure Rodgers was there. So at that point in time. So curious to see what happens there. And I don't know if that's the deal. I really did wonder if that was some kind of ploy to try to keep Rodgers another year. And maybe they're trying to win a Super Bowl now instead of build. Maybe that's the move they're going for. So we'll definitely see what happens there. If Rodgers stays, just expect Devontae Adams to be out there next year too. So
Yeah, I think they want to get a coach that they want to win now, and they don't want to wait on the winning. So that's what they chose, and so we will see how that goes. All right, here's some college football news for all my college football listeners out there. Dabo Swinney from Clemson has gotten into it with Pete Golden from Ole Miss over some transfer drama. Dabo has all the facts, and he let it be known in a press conference that he is not happy with the tampering that has been going on there in Clemson, South Carolina, and he's going to let the NCAA know about it. He's got all the receipts, text threads from Pete to the transfer player. Luke Ferrari, a linebacker, came from Cal, transferred to Clemson, signed an NIL contract, enrolled in class. Now he's at Ole Miss. So Casper, this whole tampering thing, it's been going on for years since all this began, and now it's showing its face. Do you think it was fair or foul?
Uh, I mean, I guess technically it's foul, but I mean, at the end of the day, like this is the NCAA's fault. They didn't establish very good rules on all this transfer stuff, and here we are yet again talking about the transfer and NIL rearing its ugly head, making shows that we don't want to see and all that stuff. Everybody's doing it except for Dabo, probably because Dabo's a good guy, and that's why Dabo hasn't won any games lately. It's just the ugly truth of the matter. Um, I'm curious to see, this is a little bit off topic of this, but basically everything's out of control now. I mean, did you see the news about the dude from Alabama that played in 23, went to G League, now has gone back, played one game against Tennessee yesterday, did lose. But like, I mean, I was thinking about this. Anybody that has left early in any sport, including football, think about all those quarterbacks that left as juniors and washed out. They could come back if that guy ends up winning his case. And then you think it's bad now, it's about to get worse. So really curious to see what happens. I don't know. I mean, it's bad, but they didn't put any rules in about this stuff, and they should have. And the problem that we have is that you have schools, you have boosters, and like, how are you going to track if some random donor up here at Tennessee wants to talk to Sam Levitt even after he goes to LSU? There's not really what is he not allowed to talk to anybody? You see what I'm saying? Like the schools might not can reach out, and Pete Golding reaching out's maybe a little different. That's probably not what you're supposed to be doing. But I will say this about Pete Golding: he was there with Saban, he was there with Kiffin, and those are guys that have done fairly well over the years, and he knows how the game's played. So I would assume that that's going on everywhere. I think it's good for Dabo for standing up, but I think it just means guys are going to stay away from Dabo, and it's probably going to make it harder to get players. Because then these guys want to get as much money as they can. I don't blame them. I don't know how you fix the problems. We'll investigate it and see what happens, I guess. It'd be interesting if Ole Miss were to get in trouble. I mean, lose Kiffin, then have this go on, and then like if something happens with this, how many other people come out and tell on people? That could be the next new. You get paid for tattletaling now. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. It's ugly. College football's a mess. All college sports are a mess, really, for being honest. So curious to see what happens.
Yeah, it's a complete mess, and it's finally starting to get aired out on what's going on. And it just takes somebody to put their foot down as a coach and say, "Hey, I'm tired of it, and I'm going to do things the right way. I'm not going to do that to your team, so don't do it to my team." And my thought on this is not going to change. It's going to keep being the same until the NCAA somebody gets fired or something. Something's got to change. Until then, it's going to go round and round, and they're going to toss this money around. These players, like that
Yeah.
player, he don't care. He's just going to go where the money is, and he's going to do what he wants for himself. And he just give me some. It's all about that money and give me, and that's just where it's going to be. And when I saw that, I'm thinking, I mean, that's fine. If that's how they want to conduct their business, then that's fine. But at the end of the day, you just have to understand that it goes on and it's not going to probably change, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way to fix all these deals are to structure your contracts to where guys can't afford to leave and teams are not going to pay them to leave. But at the end of the day, if you're good and you're the piece that a team needs and they have a bankroll, they're going to do it. So, um, I don't know. Figure out the buyouts like talking about. I mean, you saw Mensa, maybe transfer to Miami, all that nonsense. He's getting sued for his time because he was on a multi-year contract. It's time to get these contracts written, make the contract strong, write it like an NFL contract. They can't play. Yeah, they can ask to be traded and all this nonsense, whatever. But you don't have to just let them go. They got to get their money back. However, so um, I think that's probably what they're just going to have to go to, but we'll see what happens. It's ugly. It's not fun. We're going to watch it probably for the next 6 months again, like we did last year.
Yeah, it's going to continue, and that's just the way it's going to be. All right. I got a show coming out tomorrow. That's when I will put it out on the YouTube and Spotify for y'all to watch and listen. I'm going to go over some of the NASCAR at Bowman Gray Stadium. That is going to be next Sunday night, 8:30 on Fox. That's going to be really one to watch. I give a little preview on that. I give my pick for the championship and some drivers that we're going to see compete there at the end. I think it's going to come down to two guys, and with the whole change of this point system. So that's one of my thought on that. That's going to be the show come out tomorrow. So thanks for watching, y'all. This show, like, share on if you would on the YouTube and X and Spotify and Facebook. Those are all spots you can find us. So give us a like on there. All right. With that being said, we will move into college basketball. Clemson played at Georgia Tech at 12 o'clock on Saturday. Very strong crowd. I was very impressed in the fan base. They really showed up. I get it. It was cold and chilly and rainy and whatnot down there. But when I turned it on, I was very impressed with the crowd. So that was good to see. Halftime was 35-33 Clemson. They hit a late, I think, three there at the buzzer to get the lead going into halftime. And Clemson pulls away 77-63. So Clemson gets the win. Just take basketball right now. I've said it before, and I'll just have to keep saying it until it's over with. Just we play good in the first half, and in the second half we fall apart. And all you can do is just watch the next one and hope it gets better. And just if games were just one half, then we'd be in the March Madness probably. We'd probably have a really good record, but it's not. We play two halves in basketball, 20 minutes. So we just have to regroup and move on to the next one on that. It's about all I got with Georgia State basketball.
They got a good game coming next weekend, so at least you got that going for you.
Next Saturday, we got North Carolina Tar Heels coming to town. So that's in the fix for a little bit later, and we will see. We'll just have to kind of see how that one goes. Sometimes Tech plays good against the bigger teams when they come to town. So, for some reason, we really show out on those.
We never win in Atlanta. You know that. You know that. I know that. It's actually, I usually, when I look at the basketball schedule, I'm like, oh, God, Daniel's going to text me that day at 5 o'clock. And, oh, what happened? Because that happens daggum almost every year. Football, basketball, if we're supposed to be better, we always choke it in Atlanta. So it is what it is.
All right. Tennessee at Alabama, 8:30 ESPN, wide out for Alabama. It looked like it was a sellout. Didn't see any Tennessee fans there. It was very unique. Usually in these games, you'll see a little road section behind the bench. I didn't see maybe not one orange shirt down there. So that was something I like to see, but I did not see not one.
The weather probably had a little something to do with that, obviously. Things were tough as far as the weather goes. Also, just want to point out again, Alabama had a 35-year-old out here that played college basketball 14 years ago and then got drafted in the NBA, whatever. No, did not get drafted, excuse me, went unsigned and then played in the G League, signed a contract. But, I'm just glad to see that he couldn't get it done for him. I hope he had the worst game of his career, and I hope that that's the end of the deal. But, yeah, I don't know. Tennessee, man, if they they're at this point where they kind of got to win out. Unfortunately, in conference, not necessarily like actually win out, but they can probably only lose one or two more conference games just because the conference is so tough. And like, if you want to make tournament, yeah, a lot of teams are going to make tournament from the conference, but you're sitting here like midway through the standings in the conference at 3-3 right now. So, no more time to screw around. It's unfortunate that Mr. Charles Bedico had 25 minutes, 13 points as a 40-year-old. I feel like if you played in the G League, shouldn't he be dropping 30 in college?
That's quite a bit. So halftime was 39-36 Alabama. In this first half, it was all Alabama. They really played the first half strong. The crowd was really into it, and they were hitting their shots and playing good defense and kind of slowing down Tennessee. And Tennessee was just kind of hanging around. Like we're going to hang around. We're going to play the game. We're going to hopefully in the second half we're going to stick around. And then come second half, Tennessee came out and was able to slow down Alabama, and they got the lead there midway in the second, and just they're really able to hang on to it well. And just I thought that was one of the best games I've seen them play all year, Tennessee wise. Just being consistent and being able to kind of control the crowd and stay out of foul trouble and hit the shots and be able to get a lead and then hold the lead until the very end. And they didn't. I saw some games against Kentucky in the past and whatnot where they get these leads and they just kind of fizzle away. So in this game, to finally see the team finish was good. Gives a little bit of a hope for a fan. We got to keep winning. We got to win out. We can't be messing around at each game. And I hate that it goes this way, but it was our choice. We lost some games early on, and all these games were important. So there's no gimmies. So Tennessee was able to get the win 79-73. And I was pretty thrilled as a fan to see that. And it come on 8:30, it didn't end until 10:30, 10:45 or so like that. So it was a late finish, but I stayed up and watched it. And to see Tennessee go down there to Tuscaloosa to get the win, it's always cool to see them beat Alabama. I don't care if it's in baseball, racquetball, football. I don't care what sports.
Basket weaving. Yeah, it's fine.
Basket weaving.
Anytime Tennessee beats Alabama is a good day. Amen.
So it's always good to see them take down the Tide in that game. But Casper, for basketball wise, team wise, I feel like they got a chance. They just got to keep winning. Right?
Yeah, I mean, again, going on the road to Georgia, I really thought that that was going to be a tough game for them at Alabama. I did not expect them to go down there and get the win because Alabama is a decent team. Um, you like I said, you kind of got to start winning some games. So go to Georgia. If you get a win, start looking up. But again, that's going to be a tough one on the road in Athens. God knows what's going on with the weather. That's on Tuesday. So Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the two. So, we'll see what happens. It's going to be cold. Hopefully they don't have some issues. I know the women's team had to reschedule a game already. So let's be cold those nights. Possible more weather. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. If they can hold it together, they are a team that could go on a run late. They have to keep playing whole games. So it's good to see them come back late and beat somebody in the second half instead of lose a game in the second half. That's a positive direction, and I'll just keep picking against them, and then hopefully I'll be wrong, and um, we'll be good to go.
All right, this is for you and your dad here. 22 UNC at Virginia. Um, so they were down 16 points going into halftime. So they were down, and the Tar Heels were able to come back in that second half. I watched the second half as well with the Tech game was on at the same time, but I was able to jump back and forth. And I watched those Tar Heels, man. They came back strong in the second half. They were slam dunking. They were into it, and they got it was packed up there in Virginia. They got the crowd nice and quiet, and they're able to run the court and hit the shots. And it was cool to see them come back from being that much down to the lead and just really just put it to them to get the win 85-80 over Virginia. Hey, that's a good win right there.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia's another one of those teams. Hate to play them, just hate to play them. Obviously, football oldest rivalry in the South. For those of you that don't know, but good game for Carolina, shoot 45%, and only 4 turnovers. You play games like that, you expect to win them regardless of what else happens. So, good game from them. They did get absolutely dominated on the boards, but again, similar to Tennessee, they're actually very similar this year, in my opinion. Like both these teams could go on a run and do it, but they also could just absolutely choke on one. So we'll see what happens, and hey, keep winning, keep playing. See what happens. I guess got to get to play the easy teams this week. Thank the Lord, Amen.
The Georgia Tech will play Virginia Tech on Tuesday, and then we got Tar Heels on Saturday at home against Tar Heels. So that'll be that, and then Tennessee will go to Georgia Wednesday night, and then at home we're gonna host Auburn at 8:30 on ESPN. I heard it's already a sellout, so that game's gonna be sold out. It sounded like so. Auburn's probably gonna be a team just like anybody else in the conference. Pretty good team. Got a young coach. So that's gonna be that. That's one game that I'm looking forward to. That Auburn game should be good. It's gonna be really kind of see where we're at. They should be hopefully can take care of Georgia, which I know Georgia's up this year. They're doing much better, but that Auburn game should be a good atmosphere there at that place. So I like that one, so Catherine.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll find out. I not feeling great, but we'll see what happens.
Oh man, I don't have much tech news on tech or Tennessee news football wise or anything like that. I don't have a whole lot to share for the Georgia Tech or Tennessee. We will move on to the NFL playoffs. Here we go. The AFC Championship. The number 2 Patriots at the number 1 Broncos. 3 o'clock CBS. That game just got done here a little bit ago, and now we're going to get to talk about it a little bit. Bo Nix out. He missed this game, and it really showed, in my opinion. It really showed the experience of Jarrett Stigman. He got sacked a lot there. That seems like a first half is good start. They started off 7-0, and I thought, okay, here we go. We got the crowds into it. This is going to be a game. I picked the Broncos to win. So did Dad. This is going to be a game that's going to prove that he's he can be a backup and he can step up after not playing since 2023, I think, something like that. So
Yeah.
it's been around a while and I haven't played much. But first half was low scoring, not much, 7-7 there at halftime. Nice calm. You wouldn't think it was about to snow. It was just overcast or so. And then the second half, here we go. Second half, Casper. I'm gonna get your take on some of this, man. It just started snowing. They come out of
Yeah.
halftime break, man. That field turned from being green to white pretty quick.
Yeah, it felt like in about 5 minutes. I don't know. I mean, like you said, Stidham started off really well. I was like, I mean, I'm pulling for the Patriots, even though I traditionally don't like the Patriots. Everybody that knows me knows I don't really have an NFL team, but I don't usually like the Patriots. But my boy Drake, my Tar Heel, born and bred, I'm like, well, I guess I'll pull for Drake to get the win here. I'd like to see him in the Super Bowl. That'd be cool, all that nonsense. But I was like, when they came out and went up 7, I was like, whew, man, I don't know. Stidham looked pretty good. He looked relaxed. Um, Back to first half, whenever they made that decision not to kick that field goal, I was
Yeah.
like, what are we doing? Like, you have to take two-score lead in the NFL, especially in, knowing the weather that was on the way, right? Like, I don't know why you don't take every point you can get in a game like that. I don't know. I thought it ended up being a good game. The second half was kind of weird, just kind of like the
Oh,
Patriots really were just basically playing to, run the ball 4 times and get rid of it there in the fourth quarter. Like, we're just gonna run some clock and we're gonna punt the ball back. And that was just kind of strange seeing what 3 missed field goals in that game.
yeah, that was
Also
good.
kind of strange. And I go back to that one play too for Stidham. The other bad play was whenever he took that sack. I guess it was at the end of the first half. Went like he went out of bounds 3 yards backwards, and it's just like, man, throw the ball away or something, because then the dude has to kick a 54-yarder instead of 51-yarder. It's like you've had to put a little extra in it, and he missed it. And it's just you wonder sometimes, like, why do you got to do that though? But I don't know. I thought it was a really good game. Second half was crazy, with the snow blowing in their face for the Patriots there in the fourth quarter. I was just like, man, glad I'm not there. I was looking at the fans. I was like, did you see the snow just like stuck on people's stuff where it was wet and then it froze
Yes.
because it was so windy? Even the players are out there like the Broncos were about to be white too because the snow was just like glued on the
Yeah.
shoulder pads. It's pretty wild, but I love watching football games like that. That's what it's made to be. So, um, overall, I thought it was a decent game, and I feel like without Bo Nix, we got the outcome we were expecting, and hate it for the Broncos. They had a good year, but curious to see what Drake can do. I guess here when he gets the Seahawks.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to see how he does. I used to not be a big fan of the Patriots, honestly, just with Tom Brady and how much they'd always win and dominate each year, it seemed like. So now that he's gone, and now they got some new names in, new coach. Mike's a great coach over there at Patriots. Got fired from the Titans, wasn't good enough, I guess, and
Yeah,
he proved that, hey, I'm still a coach and I'm gonna go out there and
yeah,
win. So it's good. It's kind of cool to see a coach to go from where he was to where he is now. So that's
another good reason to pull for him.
yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be the Patriots are heading to the Super Bowl, and looks like they're going to be playing this 7-3 right now for the Rams and the Seahawks. So I guess I'm pulling for more for the Rams. Um,
Boo.
so I'm not a big Seahawks guy, but that's going to be a good game there. As we are going on the show now, but that's going to be a good one there at the end. But yeah, I mean that game there at the end, it was getting sloppy in the second half. Just I mean, you can't. It's gonna be hard to kick the ball. It's gonna be hard to run the ball, pass the ball for sure. And it just turned into just gonna run the ball. And it was a pretty quick moving game. I thought it was about
Yep.
3 hours, maybe even a little less. So it was a. I watched the whole game upstairs with my wife, and I try to get into the games for the for the NFL, the playoff games. I try to get into them a little bit the best I can. I guess I pull for the Titans, but if they can't be in it, then I'll kind of pick some other teams to win and go pretty far on that. But 10-7 for the Patriots, so they're gonna move on, and
Yeah.
then I guess the NFL wise that about gets that. Do you got anything else, Casper,
Well,
on that?
I got a question I wanted to ask you. So I meant to mention earlier, I forgot. We went to this cabin in Georgia over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Had to leave early because it was snowing, and we were forever going to get locked in there. And Georgia's just a terrible place. I didn't want to get stuck there. Just kidding. But no. So we were having this discussion, me and the guys up there, and we are talking about how like generally we've all been college football fans, but like I really have probably enjoyed the NFL more this year. I feel like, especially the playoffs, like the NFL playoffs have just been more entertaining. Not talking about stupid stuff like transfer, like we're just watching good football games. And I was curious on your opinion. Like, Have you felt yourself at all pushed towards the NFL from college because of the nonsense with the NIL and like contracts and just all the crap that's gone along with Lane Kiffin and all this coach stuff and like has that worn on you and pushed you into appreciating the NFL anymore?
Yeah, that's a good question here, Casper. I think so. I think it really has. I feel like I can watch these games on the NFL, and they're not talking about all this other outside stuff. It's just football. It's just hard football, and it's players going for it all. And yeah, I think it's going to cause some fans for college football to not watch as much anymore, not watch it, and they're going to branch off, and they're going to try something different, and they're going to watch the NFL. And NFL, these games this year, man, they've been good. They've been some comebacks. They've been high scoring, and you can't just not watch it. So it's like I'm definitely going to tune into it. And that's my take on that is just yes, I'm going to want to watch the NFL right now because there's not as much drama and it's just football.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny, if you crap this year, I guess 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. There's a lot of people in this area that were kind of turned off by the NFL with their political stuff, and
Yeah.
the NFL ratings took a little bit of a hit and all that stuff, and like people were just watching college all the time, yada yada yada. But it's almost like the reverse because of the NIL and transfer stuff, in my opinion, right now. And I'd be curious to see, if the numbers are any better. But I feel like I hear a lot more people around here talking about the NFL now. I don't know if maybe they were already talking about, it, I just didn't care. But I think it's something that college football better watch out for. We're down here in the South. If we could just get one good team out of the South, just one time, I think it would go a long way. Whether that's the Falcons, the Titans, or Jacksonville, anybody down here, Texans, whatever. If anybody down here could somehow figure it out, I think it would go a long ways towards helping the NFL. But hopefully, college gets their stuff figured out because it's turning more fun. Plus, hey, I'm better at Madden than I am CFP game. I'm pretty good at Madden now. So if you want to play me Madden, when you get that PS5, just let me know. I'll be
Okay,
ready to whoop up.
I have to try you out on that. But yeah, I'd like to see a team, here be able to win, get to the playoffs. It'd be cool to see like the Titans or the Falcons get to the playoff and really see a team from the South compete in the playoff and see if the fan base gets into it or if they don't. So that's something that I'm hoping one day soon we'd see the Titans get in there and really see people here in the South. Do we really keep up with the NFL or is it all just college football?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. We'll see. The Titans and Robert Saleh. Like, what? What? They should have hired Mike McCarthy. Like, good God, I'm sorry, but we'll see what happens with them. Hopefully, they'll become relevant at some point, and you know, but it's just interesting to watch. One thing to pay attention to. I'm looking for a Super Bowl. It's 2 weeks away from today, so this is about the best 3 weekends for me. We go, these are good games this weekend for championship games. We go next week, and NASCAR starts up, and I can start breathing normal again. And we already had some dirt kick off this week. We got more dirt next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. So we're getting cranked up. But Clash Super Bowl Daytona 500, 3 good Sundays in a row as far as I'm concerned. So looking forward to getting it done. But we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the off season finally starting to kind of wrap up, and yeah, it's gonna be a good next few weeks for us race fans and sports fans with Super Bowl coming up and with some of the college basketball starting to pick up and March Madness here right around the corner. So it's a lot to look forward to, and yeah, I guess that about wraps that up. And we'll come back to the NASCAR here in just a little bit, Casper, and I'll get your take on some stuff. The Hawks. They beat the Suns on Friday night. That was on the 23rd. So the Hawks took down the Suns 110 to 103. The Suns lost uh, Jalen Green and Devin Booker to injury during that game, and it sounded like the Suns had quite the big lead there, and the Hawks were able to come back and get the win. And then the Hawks will play tomorrow night, which is one of my picks, the Pacers. So yeah, the Pacers at the Hawks tomorrow night. But that about wraps that up. But yeah, we'll kind of get back to a little bit of talk here on the racing side of things real quick. Yeah, so we got this weekend Bowman Gray, so that's gonna be one to really watch. Then you got the week off. Then we got Daytona. Then we got qualifying on a Wednesday. Then we got so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So a lot of night of racing in a row. And I definitely, for me that's always cool.
Yeah, I think we should call in sick to work and just go on down there to Daytona. We could probably slide over to a little dirt racing action too. Be a good week if you want to just call in all week to work. But Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely curious to see your show, see your championship picks. I hope to God you didn't pick Ryan Blaney because I
Oh, baby.
surely
Yeah.
you know that this is like this championship format is really bad for drivers like him because he can't do anything other than like finish 10th, win or wreck. Like that's his only options. He can't just muscle out a good day. So definitely not good for him or Denny Hamlin either. So hope you didn't pick those two. You said two drivers, and I have a feeling that's probably the two that you mentioned. Um, but if that's the case, you might want to re-record that show, go back and check because I'm pretty sure if you go look at most consistent, it's probably the 5 and the 9 and the 24 is probably about top three. 22 might be somewhere in there, but definitely not the 12. So I just want to let you know that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the clash and all that goes along with that, and just getting everything fired back up. So watch Little Rolex today. They had a 6 hour caution. Really random news fact.
Yeah.
Did you see that? They had a six
I did
hour
not.
caution. They had a 6 hour, I believe, 26-minute caution in the Rolex 24 for fog at Daytona this morning, sometime around midnight till about like 6 a.m., something like that. Maybe 1 to 7, something like that. So it was a 120 lap caution in the Rolex 24-hour race. If you guys have not seen the pictures from the spotter stand, it's pretty wild that people would even think that's okay to race in that. But yeah, it was wild. So other than that, it was a
So
good weekend.
that would probably affect the time wise, you think? It's called 24 hours, but if they got that long of a caution, then
It just means there's a lot less racing. So you
yeah.
know, usually that race has somewhere around a total of 6 hours caution out of 24 hours. But a lot less laps, which is good for the endurance. Not wearing the equipment out and stuff. But really crazy to see 6 hour caution. I can't imagine driving around behind a pace car for 6 hours.
Oh yeah.
Pretty
I
wild.
would I wouldn't I would not be
Yeah.
a fan of that. All right. Well, we're gonna jump on into picks of the week. So last weekend, I will go first on mine. I had Miami versus Indiana, 6.5 was the spread. I had Indiana to win by 7 or more, and that did not happen. That was a good game, but that did not happen on the point wise for me. Bucks at the Hawks. I was at the Hawks game. It was a really cool experience. That did not did not work out. It was a really good game, and the Hawks came back, but it just wasn't enough, and they lost by 2. And then Georgia Tech, they hosted Clemson, and Clemson did indeed get the win. That was my pick there. Oh, so I got 1 out of 3 on right there. All right, this is where it gets good for Casper here. If you're a Casper listener, he's, all I'm about to say is going to sound really good. Miami versus Indiana at 47.5 was the total there, and he got that one right.
Over.
It was over. Yep. UNC beat Notre Dame. So that was a good one there. And then Miami, 7.5 was the spread, and they only lost by, was it 6?
Hmm.
Something like that. So there you go. So Casper got all 3 of his right. So now the
Do I get a
score,
prize?
you get your prize. The prize is coming soon. Well, I would say soon, but it's going to be a
Yeah.
little bit, but it's going to be good. You're really
Uh-huh.
going to like it. I hope,
Uh,
and I hope it all works out that that's all going to work out on that side. But I can't go into detail about all that. So that will tie it up 5-5. Yep, 5-5 is the total for those that watch the show and keep up with the picks. Casper 5, Dwat 5. All right. So this week, since I got beat, I guess I get to go first. I'm going to go with the Pacers at the Hawks. That is tomorrow night. I'm going to say the Hawks are going to get the win on that one. I'll just go. I'll just pick the winner on that one. And then the Predators at the Bruins. That's on Tuesday night. I'm going to say the Bruins are going to get the win there. And then UNC at Georgia Tech next on Saturday. I'm going to go North Carolina money line. North Carolina is going to get the win in Atlanta. All right, Casper, you're up.
well, first of all, like I say, you're gonna let the Hawks let you down 2 Mondays in a row. I can't believe you're gonna do that. That's disappointing. I feel bad for you. If you want to change it, I'll let you change that up until 8 p.m. Sunday night. Just text me. We can get that switched over if you change your mind on that. But give me Georgia over Tennessee because I'm hoping I'm helping the Vols by picking them to lose. Give me Tennessee Tech over Tennessee State. Big time basketball there in Nashville. And then just for our buddy Dan, give me the Bucks over the 76ers in Philadelphia tomorrow night. So hopefully that works out for me. We'll see what happens. I'm not much on the NBA stuff, but I guess I have to start paying attention. Hopefully I'll start watching some college basketball. But race season is here, so cut me some slack if I don't.
All right, we got plenty of time. So I got one last thought for you, Casper, for sure. Bobby Pierce, the number 32 driver, Bobby Pierce. Yeah, I got a few things to say. He got pretty aggressive out west, Wild West shootout. Kind of hit O'Neal pretty good there in the back straightaway. Took him out, or it really affected his race. And then Volusia, I guess it was last night.
Hmm.
Got aggressive with Hitchcock there the night before, and then Saturday night got aggressive again with O'Neal. So that's like I'm okay with take somebody out once, or bump somebody once or whatever, take them out pretty in a certain way, but just to do it again, like I don't know if they got some beef from the years past or whatnot, but he's just say I'm just gonna listen to you, and that's okay. That's why we have these shows, and we're gonna be able to talk about some of this stuff coming up. So my take on on Bobby is he just needs to chill a little bit, needs to calm down, and learn how to race. Jasper.
Yeah, I like it. Hmm. What should my last comment to the show be? I don't know. I kind of want to talk about the Braves, but I don't really have anything to talk about. Um, I guess I'll follow up your Bobby Pierce situation a little bit. A couple weird things. One, I don't know if you caught this. Word Outlaws is now apparently if you make contact on track under yellow, you're parked for the night. That's a bunch of crap. Get them out of here. That's the dumbest thing ever. If you want to kill a series, become NASCAR, and that's becoming NASCAR. So if I was you, I'd suggest Word Outlaws if you're listening to the show, which probably not change that immediately. Second, Bobby Pierce, as far as the Hedgecock thing goes, I understand why he was irritated, but that was exactly what he does to everybody else that he races, including Davenport out there at the Wild West Shootout. Or Turbo did the same thing. And he did Davenport last year. Was it Florence they got into it up
Oh
here,
yeah.
up the road? Basically the same thing. So I don't know why he's mad. I think he's got a little bit too big of a head on his shoulders, and I hope that my boy JD goes out there and terrorizes him this year on this pick and choose schedule and just absolutely wrecks him about 4 or 5 times. That's really what I'm hoping for. But we'll see what happens there. Hopefully, Hitchcock can get his stuff together. Other than that, I'll be sure to go back to Florida, watch a little dirt racing if you're into that. And, it's about all I got, I reckon.
All right, we're gonna close it down. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube if you would. You can follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. Yeah, uh, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Casper. I
Oh,
enjoyed
yeah.
having you on the show, and it's good to have you.
Yeah, don't forget to watch D-Watt's special episode tomorrow night, folks. Special episode. Preseason picks. I'm excited to go. Maybe I might have to fire my show up for one last episode just to make fun of him. We'll see what happens.
You're really gonna like him, and I wish I could tell you, but I can't. So you probably already know, but that's all right. We're gonna watch tomorrow. You're gonna watch it tomorrow, and you can let me know all your thoughts and opinions. If you got any thoughts and opinions for this show or any show, put them in the comments there, Spotify or YouTube, and we will answer them on the show. Yeah, that's about that. And we're gonna say, we'll say, see you in the next one.
Later.